Your Honor, first of all, when I seen her, she was on tape having sex with 2 other guys.
Hold up, wait a minute, wait a minute,
I'm gonna get back to you.
Wait a minute.
Hang on.
She's the judge who gives rules on the law and life. She's intense with common sense. She's Judge Lynn Toller on Divorce Court, where real couples deal with real life. While watching an adult video one day, Eric first set eyes on Tracy, the woman who would become his wife. The two eventually met at the wedding of a mutual friend, but after 10 years as husband and wife, Tracy and Eric claim they are less than satisfied with marriage.
In order for him to have sex with me, Your Honor, he had to pay me $200, $300, $400, whatever he had in his pocket, I wanted it.
I paid her. I gave her a couple of dollars, but I had to put her in her element because she act like a hooker, so I had to treat her like a hooker.
Tracy says she's unfulfilled and wants out of the marriage. Today on Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Tracy Danzy and Eric Danzy. Mr. and Mrs. Danzy, the two of you have been married for 10 years. You do not, however, have any children together. Mr. and Mrs. Danzy, you are seeking to get a divorce. You are here specifically, Mrs. Danzy, to get a determination from me about the disposition of some joint property and some damage, which we will talk about momentarily. Before we do, however, Mrs. Danzy, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage and why we're here in divorce court today?
My big issue, Your Honor, was our sex life. Our sex life was horrible.
We jumped right into it, didn't we?
Okay, it got so bad to the point last year, Your Honor, that I started making him pay for sex. In order for him...
Charge the man?
Yes, in order for him to have sex with me, Your Honor, he had to pay me $200, $300, $400, whatever he had in his pocket, I wanted it because of the way he behaved. If he can go out and cheat on me, Your Honor, he can pay me for sex.
Not that I know what the going rate for that kind of thing is, but he paid $300 or $400?
Yeah, and recently, Your Honor, he won, he claimed pick 3, pick 4, whatever it was, and called me and told me about it, told me he wanted to take me out to dinner, and then he would pay me $1,000 to have sex with him. I declined because if you wanted to give me $1,000, you would call me and say, come over here, I got something for you, and give me the $1,000. Let it be my choice if I want to have sex with you, which wouldn't happen, no way.
Mr. Danzy, were you at the end of the relationship, were you starting to have to pay for it?
Your Honor, first of all, when I met Tracy, well, I ain't gonna say when I met her. When I seen her, she was on tape having sex with 2 other guys.
Hold up, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute,
I'm gonna get back to you. Hang on, Mr. Danzy got an opportunity. Go right ahead.
She was on tape having sex with 2 other guys. That's what drew me to her. Now, for us paying Tracy for sex,
yeah, you did. Yeah,
I gave her about $110.
You are lying. You're lying.
Hang on. Let Mr. Danzy finish.
I paid her. I gave her a couple of dollars, but I had to put her in her element because she act like a hooker, so I had to treat her like a hooker.
First of all, Your Honor, wait. The sex tape, Your Honor, let me go back.
Okay.
If you saw a sex tape of me and I was on it, this was way before I met him. I didn't know him.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I did. I'm a bit to mine.
That's what drew me to her.
I'm a bit to mine. I did. But you still married me.
No,
so what that make you?
Hold on.
You don't make me look bad. You the one
Mr.
look
Danzy,
bad.
you're not understanding his point. He's not saying you did it after. He said, I saw it, I liked what I saw, I went after it, and I married her. That, he enjoyed
But you know
the
what?
tape.
He saw me at a wedding first. Second, he saw me at a wedding. I was looking good, and he wanted all of this.
Hold on.
That's the reason why he came to me. And before then, he couldn't catch up with me for 2 months. I was avoiding him for like 2 months before he even got to talk to me. And the way I am, I have to see what you can do for me.
Right.
Yeah, he sold me dreams. He told me, oh, we gonna take all these extravagant trips to Las Vegas and Lake Tahoe. He lied, but if you let a man sell you a dream, he will.
Okay,
And
hang
he
on,
did.
Mr. Danzy. Mr. Danzy, do you have something you'd
Your
like
Honor,
to say?
first of all, I seen her on the tape. Yes, he drew me to her. Then I seen her at the wedding. But how can I say you a dream when I was on dialysis and on disability?
Mrs. Danzy, let this man talk.
Okay.
I was on dialysis and disability before I met her. When I met her, she knew the status of my income. I get disability, no other income. She was getting a little income, and yes, it's true, I seen her on the tape. That's what turned me on to her. That's why I married her. I'm not judging her for what she did and how she did it. That's why I love her and I married her.
Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying?
You wanted to hook up with that.
Yes, exactly. And then when I seen her at the wedding, that's when I finally seen her in person for the first time.
And he wanted me. He wanted me.
He
That's
did,
evident.
Mrs. Danzy, but he's not claiming that he didn't. He's saying that he did. He just said things went south afterwards. And let's start talking about the direction of your marriage.
All right.
You say you feel unsupported by him.
Yes.
Explain that to me.
Okay. In 2009, I started school.
Right.
Me and my daughter. I finished. This man did not show up to my graduation.
When divorce court continues, did Tracy believe she'd married a sugar daddy?
What about his current physical situation and economic situation would lead you to believe that he could follow through on that?
Because he told me he saved his money.
Divorce isn't easy. Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com or become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt.
Divorce Court is back with the case of Tracy Danzy, who claims her husband Eric sold her a world of dreams he couldn't make good on. But was Tracy in it for the love or money?
So far, you're looking like a woman trolling for cash. You failed to show up at the graduation?
I had dialysis that day and I was going to her
graduation was
graduation.
Mrs.
Mrs. Danzy,
6:30.
now listen here. You need to control yourself
Okay.
because we're about to get into it.
Okay.
And don't anybody win that but me.
All right.
I had dialysis that day. I was going to go to her graduation. She didn't want me to drive the car. I was there at the house. I was there with the kids and everything. She didn't want me at the graduation. She didn't even make me a part of the graduation festivities.
Festivities. You were just hanging about.
And for support, I took her to school every day. She said I didn't support her. She didn't pay no bills the whole time she was in school. All she paid was a truck note that I helped her pay.
That's a bill.
But I helped you pay it.
That's a bill.
But hang on, Mrs. Danzy, did the man...
I took the bills in the house.
The household bills, did he pay the
He
household...
didn't pay them either because the lights got cut off.
Mrs. Danzy, I'm about to launch you.
Okay.
Because we can't have this.
Your Honor.
You need to listen to me. Did he pay the household bills while you were in school?
No.
Who paid them?
Nobody. They didn't get paid.
Well,
'Cause if they got
somebody
paid-
had to pay something.
No,
you
if
weren't
they
on the
got
street.
paid, our lights wouldn't have got cut off. Some
Exactly.
light bills I have paid and others I couldn't because I had to pay my car note, which was more than what we could really afford.
What made you believe? Let's assume he sold you all the dreams about going to Tahoe and Vegas and all of that. What about his current physical situation and economic situation would lead you to believe that he could follow through on that?
Because he told me he saved his money. He said, let me give you one in particular time, Christmas time. He told me that he had put away so much money in the bank. And then
Right.
came back and told me, well, Social Security got it. How Social Security got it and you ain't even on Social Security yet? So I ended up having to foot the bill that Christmas for me and his kids. So I really kind of been the sole provider, even before we got married, even after we got married, because I always had some kind of income, i.e. my daycare, my child care, because I started that. I worked at a daycare. I started a daycare at home. I even did home help, which I still do today. So I always had income.
You always was working. You had a job here, job there,
Yes.
and you finally got your CNA. Which
Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Always working, doing positive,
Yes.
doing better. Mr. Danzy, what do you... Go ahead.
Okay. We met 2002. That same year she's speaking of Christmas, I didn't start getting disability until September. My birthday, September the 8th. I had $3,000 in the bank. Social Security took the money out of my bank account because I didn't know that you wasn't supposed to have over $800 in your bank account when you're on Social Security. Social Security took the money out of my bank account. That's a proven fact. She knows that.
No, you never proved that to me. No, you didn't. You never showed me any papers. He told me he wasn't even on Social Security yet.
I wasn't on Social Security in the spring.
No, you never did tell me when you got
I gotta say, Ms. Danzy, so far you looking like a woman trolling for cash. And you got a guy, and you know he's limited in his ability to provide, but it was cool because he had something in the bank. The government does, when they allow you disability, they don't allow you to have stashes of money else because it's not right.
Right.
You know, that kind of thing.
And they took
it sounds like a reasonable response, and often the government does do that kind of thing. How can you fault him for that?
I'm not faulting him, but if
you tell me about it,
if you tell me that you can help me, because I wasn't looking for him to provide for me, because I always provided for me and my kids myself. I never put that, you know, that burden on him to provide for me and my kids. Anything he did for me, that was extra.
When divorce court continues, has Eric been too helpful around the neighborhood?
I never slept with the lady, nothing sexual, and we were just friends.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and follow us on Twitter @DivorceCourt. Divorce Court returns with the case of Tracy Danzy, who claims her husband does not pay household bills, but will Eric be ordered to pay for the family van?
The remaining balance on the vehicle, I'm not responsible for because that was between her and her friend.
Mrs. Danzy, you believe Mr. Danzy cheated on you during the course of your relationship. Why don't you tell me about that?
Okay. I'm going to go back. He cheated at least 4 times that I know about. He claimed that, he was just counseling her. And another time was, he didn't know that if I gave him a cell phone and I paid the bill, I'm going to look through it. When I start suspecting you of cheating, I'm going to look through it. So I looked through it. I found text messages of him and another young lady texting. Well, why haven't I met her?
Right.
I never met this lady. And so one day, I sat and called this lady. You know what she told me?
What?
She told me, when I asked her what was going on between her and my husband, you know what she told me? She told me, you need to ask your husband. Clear sign of
that something was going on, because she didn't
on.
want to say. Mr. Danzy, were you running around on your wife?
I never slept with the lady, nothing sexual, and we were just friends. She accused me of that.
Why did she say to your wife, you're going to have to ask your husband?
She got the stories mixed up. She talking about another woman.
No, I'm not.
Well, did you cheat with this other woman?
No,
Hang on.
but I'm going to tell you.
Hang on. Did you cheat with this other woman?
No, ma'am. But she found texts in the phone saying that I love the woman and all this.
That's a whole nother young lady.
This lady.
That's a young lady after he cheated with the.
I have nothing to deny. I talked to several women. I may have flirted with them, but I'm only guilty of messing around with one woman.
So
and I will admit that.
Once.
I'll admit that. I'm guilty of that. That's my sin.
I had to beat it out of him. He told me he was going to take that secret to the grave with him. Because we had like social events at our house where we did cook and invite people over. And as far as he say, you gave her more than the shoulder to cry on.
I must say this. No, hang on. No, Mr. Danzy. Mr. Danzy, let me say this. Women typically have too much conversation for any man. All the boyfriends and husbands claim about women are talking too much counseling. And it just amazes me how all of a sudden men come in here, don't want to talk to their wife, but they're going to counsel another woman. They're going to listen to somebody else. I don't think you're listening. I think you're touching them because that's what y'all do. But okay.
When divorce court continues, Judge Lynn lets the Danzys have it.
Stop it. I am so tired. You are the most closed-hearted, extended-hand people I've ever met in my life.
Divorce Court returns with the case of Tracy and Eric Danzy, who are divorcing after 10 years of marriage.
I want to hear about the van. that you are suing for today with respect to Mr. Danzy? Explain that, your claim to me.
Okay. The van that we had, which we went and got together with a friend of mine, ended up getting stolen and burnt up. And they found the van, and it was still money left over on the van. And they started suing my friend, which the van name is in. And so she called me. She had been trying to catch up with me, and she called me and caught up with me because I couldn't catch up with her, because I lost the phone that her number was in. So we ended up seeing each other or whatever. And she told me what the judge said and how they want to do it. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. We'll help you pay for it because, you know, we are responsible for this van. So I went to him and I asked him, you know, well, I'll pay half and you pay half. And which they were suing her for $1,600. I've been paying, you know, helping her pay on it, but he haven't did anything.
Okay.
And I asked him
to help me. Do you have any
me.
paperwork, anything about the judgment against her,
no,
any agreement
my friend
between
didn't give
you
it
and
to
her?
me. She didn't give it to me. But one thing I do, I trust her because I know we had this van.
Right.
So she's not lying.
Right.
And I know we still owe the money on the van.
But I need to have some kind of demonstration of what's going on, and I just need some kind of proof, some paper, something. Mr. Danzy, do you admit that the two of you had a van that her friend signed on and that she's being pursued for money you failed to pay?
Your Honor, we had the van. I paid the car note on the van, took care of the maintenance on the van. The remaining balance on the vehicle, I'm not responsible for because that was between her and her friend.
It's your moral responsibility. You're not legally on the hook because you paid, but that was she did you guys a solid by getting you a car.
I'm supposed to pay the whole remaining balance?
No, she's asking for half. She's asking for half.
So she didn't help me pay the bills at home.
Oh, but
yes, I did.
And none of that.
Yes, I did.
But I'm supposed to help her pay a car note?
Mr. Danzy,
She didn't help me pay bills
yes,
at home?
Yes, I did.
Stop it. I am so tired. You are the most closed-hearted, extended-hand people I've ever met in my life. You don't seem to, Mrs. Danzy, I love you on the one hand, can't stand you on the other. You seem to be a hard worker and want to do stuff. You seem to be over here, got your heart closed, got your legs closed, but you got your hand in his pocket, and that you're mad because he's not able to, you know, serve as the ATM you wanted him to be. And I think you knew what his limitations were, and you, oh, well, I got a pot of money, I can get that, and you've been mad about it ever since. He is who he is, he has what he has, he's the best he can. It wasn't enough for you, and you can't get mad about that. Mr. Danzy, you do have a moral obligation to that woman. You put that other woman in a jackpot, and it's just wrong, and it's just wrong. And you shouldn't have done it. She did you guys a solid by paying for a car for you, and if you were a right guy, you would take care of that. I can't make it. I don't want to talk.
She has two jobs.
I do not want you to talk anymore.
Yes, ma'am.
Whether or not you have the current means by which to pay something does not change your obligation to pay it, though it be a moral one. You do what you want to do and you do what you need to do, but don't say you never heard that you were obligated to do that on a moral level, because you are. But legally, I can't hold you responsible for that, so you can walk off that. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think you treated him wrong. I think you treated him wrong.
I didn't. I was there for him, Your Honor.
No.
I'm not.
You want more? No, he did.
I tried to treat
he did
him
the
right.
best he could with what he has. He just didn't have everything that you wanted. And I think that was wrong the way we treated him. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Tracy is still waiting for Eric to serve her with the divorce papers he alleges he has filed. Eric continues to ask her to reconcile, but she feels she is in a good place and has moved on with her life. She and Eric remain on good terms, and Eric says Tracy comes by his home often and they enjoy one another's company. When asked about the divorce papers, Eric acknowledges he has them, but has not filed them with the court.